Hello again. Welcome to another video. It's nice to chat with you guys once more. And today I have a theory. I have a theory on something. I don't know if it's right or not. I genuinely don't. So I'm really curious. I'm really curious if you think I'm on the right track or not. But as a gamer, as a gaming fan, also I don't really like calling myself a gamer sometimes. I guess like technically I am, right? I'm a gamer. I game, I play Minecraft, I work in gaming, right? I also play other games. And I've been playing games since I was like 17 or 18 years old. So like I've been playing games forever. So I'm a gamer. But I don't know, like I feel like when I call myself a gamer, it's almost like calling myself cool. You know, like if I really am cool, I don't have to call myself cool. If I really am a gamer, I don't have to call myself a gamer. Anyway, it's not good. So I got this theory, and it's like this cycle. So I finished Halo 4 yesterday, and I thought it was great. It wasn't the best Halo game. There's definitely some issues in it. There's parts where I feel like as I was playing, I didn't know why I was doing certain tasks. The goals of some of the levels weren't communicated super well. But I thought it was still a great game. Like I had a really good time. The characters, the story arcs, everything was great. The new enemies were really, really cool. I had a good time. But I remember when it was released and people like massively hated on it. They said it was the worst thing ever. It was the first game from 343i, which took over from Bungie. And yeah, people were like, oh, they're definitely not Bungie. You know, like this is the end of Halo, blah, 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 all this stuff. And then like just the amount of hate that it got bled over. And then Halo 5 was released. And I haven't played that one yet, so I have no clue if it's deserving of the hate or not. But people hated on that, and then when they started hating on Halo 5, they stopped hating on Halo 4. They started being like, it wasn't that bad of a game. Could have been better, but it wasn't that bad. Then Halo Infinite comes out, people are like, Halo 4 is actually pretty good, right? Like, so their opinion has changed over the years. And Star Wars did the same thing with the movies. I'm gonna get to my theory in a minute, all right? Just relax, just chill. Star Wars did the same thing with the movies. You had episodes 4, 5, and 6 came out. People were like, oh my goodness, these are the best movies ever. This is such great. And then the prequels came out. I remember when The Phantom Menace released, episode 1, people were walking out of the theaters crying. They were amazed. They were like blown away. It was the coolest thing ever. And then a year later, they all hated it. Like everybody hated the movie, and they hated Jar Jar Binks, and they hated Anakin and everything. Like there was so much hate for The Phantom Menace. And then episode 2 came out, and they hated that. And then episode 3 hated, like there was just all this hate. And then the funny thing is, years later, the latest trilogy comes out. People are like, actually, the prequels weren't all that bad. like we want to like hate on stuff so much, and then give it a few years, and then there's this love for it. Minecraft does the same thing. Every year, another release comes out. People are like, this is the worst update ever. The developers don't even care about the game anymore, you know. And then a year later, like, oh, actually, that update wasn't too bad. That was my favorite update. People do this thing. So I have this theory, okay? And my theory is that I forgot my theory for a second. What is my theory? My theory. My theory is that you have this balancing game that you got to play. Some people like to, when they release new content, a video, a movie, a book, a musical album, a video game, whatever, there's this vision, there's this dream of being able to just drop it and hope that people are blown away and they love it and it's amazing. And there's also this other side where you tease out what is coming. You tease it and tease it, you know? And so that by the time it releases, people already have a sense of what it's going to be and they know that it's coming. And you might get some, you know, complaints or whatever, but people generally know what's coming. And I have this theory, okay, that if you have a known IP, if you have a known brand and a known creative story with people having expectations, you cannot drop it out of nowhere. You can't drop it out of nowhere. Because when you drop it out of nowhere, people immediately hate it, right? They're going to hate it. It's like when you rearrange the furniture in your house. It's kind of uncomfortable at first. You might like it conceptually, you might like it thematically, but I keep moving this because I think my thumb is covering the camera. You might like it thematically or something, or design-wise, but then when you start sitting in it, it's like, oh, this is kind of uncomfortable, right? Or if you change up your work schedule or sleep schedule or something like that to try and improve your life, or you start exercising more and you change like your schedule in some way, you're like, this is like, it's kind of uncomfortable because it's new, right? So when you drop something unexpectedly and as a surprise to the community, and they already know that brand and that IP, then it becomes something new, but it's not just something new, it's a change of something that already exists. So it makes them a little bit uncomfortable. So in that situation, the best releases happen when you tease what is coming ahead of time. You let people get their discomfort out ahead of time. You let people get this, oh, some change is coming. Something is coming that is going to change how I feel and perceive this game. You let them get that discomfort out. And then by the time it releases, suddenly they're like, I'm used to this. I'm going to check out that game. Oh, that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. You know, because now it's matching along with their expectations that they've built through that teasing process. And it kind of matches up with the timeline too, right? Like, you know, we love something and then a year later we hate it. Or we hate something and then a year later we love it. Like when episode 7 came out, I remember people were like, you know, this was just a rehash of the same story all over again. I don't like this new Disney, Star Wars, blah, blah, blah. And then a year later they were like, actually that was pretty good, right? So like you're kind of lining up the same timeline of this evolution of hate to love or hate to accept with just by teasing things out a little bit more ahead of time. On the other hand, okay, if you have a brand new IP, brand new creative story, brand new characters, brand new everything, in that situation, it's best if you wait and hide it until the release, and then you drop it all at once. Oh, or at least if you're gonna tease it, only tease it really close to the launch. Because if you build up the hype for years and years ahead of time, that hype dies down super, super heavy. Not only does that hype die down really quickly, because people have no idea what to expect from you, but also a lot of people will start building their own expectations for what it should be. And then when it finally releases and it's not that, then they get mad. Think about like Cyberpunk 2077, right? Like people, that was being in development for 8 years, that had been teased, that had been planned, announced, all this stuff was coming out about it. It was a new IP, so people built expectations for what it should be. And then when it finally released, it didn't meet those expectations. Those expectations were always going to be wrong because it was a brand new IP. So like nobody knew what to expect. So that disappointment was inevitable. So basically my theory is, if you have an existing IP, then you need to start teasing out a long time ahead, like maybe a couple years ahead of time, to release something with giving people this time period to acclimate to the changes. If you have a brand new IP, you don't need to tease that stuff at all. Like, don't tease it at all. Just hold it to yourself, keep it close, and then release it. And you're gonna get some blowback for a little while, but hopefully you get a lot of hype and excitement too, because people are like, wow, this is amazing. This also goes for Minecraft servers, map makers, YouTubers, whatever. Like, this goes for Minecraft content creators as well. I really believe so. And in Minecraft in general, Minecraft actually kind of went the opposite direction, a little bit too far. So every year they release an update, and they would tease it, but they would tease it way too far ahead, way too far back, and it would die down. On the opposite end, if they don't tease it at all, the new ideas, the new stuff that's coming out, they don't tease it at all, then that also gets a lot of hate as well. So like, there's this weird like balance in between that has to happen for some content. I wanted to clarify something real quick, because I realized that I didn't explain the Minecraft side very well. And basically, like, Minecraft is an existing IP. So they need to, according to my theory, they need to tease out the game's, the next update's new features, okay? Because if they just launch it, if they don't tease anything and they just drop the update, people will hate it. People will like say that they hate it, it's terrible, blah, 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 all this stuff, because there's a lot of new things that change it, right? There would be a lot of controversy and a lot of craziness and drama and everything. So they have to tease it ahead of time. But what Minecraft and what Mojang had in the past done, I would say incorrectly, but you know, I am just an outsider looking in, is that they were teasing it way too early. So they were announcing so many updates. They were announcing the name, they were announcing all the main features and everything way ahead of time. And then by the time there was a release, the reason why the update was getting hate was not because of the change and people just didn't like the change, right? It was because of they were bored already. They were bored. And so you get to the final update day and people already know everything that's going into it. They've already been with it for 6, 8 months, 10 months sometimes, right? They've known about these features for forever. And so then the update comes out and they're like, this is just kind of a mid update, right? Like, this is just kind of a lame, boring update. Not much is happening here. It's because they're bored already, because they've known about it for too long. So there's a balance between teasing it way too far ahead of time and not teasing it at all. And I think with 1.20, Mojang has like hit it perfectly. They've teased some things slowly over time, and other things they didn't share at all until it came closer to release date, which was excellent. So yeah, that's part of this theory, and I wanted to just re-explain that because I don't think I did a good job at all with that in the first take of me talking with you. Anyway, that's my theory. I'm just curious what you guys think. At the end of the day, don't trust what people actually say on launch day, whether they hate it or they love it or not. You know, just ride the hype, use it to your advantage if you can, and have fun out there. Oh, and like, use it to your advantage if you can. Or if you're just a gamer and you just want to enjoy it, just enjoy it. If you enjoy it, enjoy it. Don't listen to what other people say. Just enjoy it. Stop trying to be like everybody else and be like, oh yeah, I hate it too. Oh yeah, this is amazing. I am still convinced that Spider-Man Far From Home will be hated in the future. People loved it when it came out. There was so much fan service. It is not a rewatchable movie. I don't know people who like rewatch that movie except to make videos about rewatching the movie or saying that they rewatched the movie. I don't think that people are rewatching it because they enjoy it. And I don't think that it was a good movie. And I'm pretty convinced that that one day will come back as being one of the weakest MCU movies in the timeline. But we'll see. We'll see. Just make up your own opinions. That's kind of how we do. All right, I'm out. See ya. Peace.